Hello, and welcome to this introduction to Studio Saberhagen's AutoCam. I am Rosalara, and I'm going to be going through this with you today. So, first things first, you can see that I've got two inventory windows open. I've got this window, which is the item which I'm working on today, and this window, which is the AutoCam product in my inventory. So, let's get started. Just going to res out our object. And just spin it around. Okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's have a look at the default behavior. Now, as we can see, the camera's gone behind the object. This is the default Second Life behavior and is not great. So, let's fix that. Right, I'm just going to jump off the object, open up the edit menu, and go to our contents. Now, as you can see, in the root prim, AVSitter is not here. Now we want to install AutoCam alongside AVSitter. So let's find AVSitter in this object. Okay, and it's in link number 2. Now I happen to know that this object has two sitters. So I need to grab branch 0 and branch 1. And these are our two sitter scripts. I also need to grab AutoCam main and avautocam.cfg. I'll just drag and drop this into our object. As you can see, AVSitter has started reloading. So while that's having a think, let's have a look at the AutoCam HUD. Okay, and this is the AutoCam HUD. Let's start with this button up here, which is our minimize and maximize button. We also have this button, which opens up our help menu, which gives us a cursory glance at how to use the HUD, as well as a link to this tutorial video. We also have the default position button, which will record the current camera position and will be used for any unprogrammed poses. We also have the current pose name button, which opens up this dialog. Now, we shouldn't normally need to use this, and you'll see why in a moment. This is just here as a backup. We also have our sitter buttons, of which I can select multiple or singles. We also have our record button, and this will just record our current camera position to our selected sitters. We also have our saved poses readout. We have our new config button, and we have our export completed config button. And we also have this gear icon, which opens up our advanced settings. We have the HUD scale of the AutoCam config HUD. We have the transition type, so that's either linear, i.e. straight line, or cubic, i.e. spherical motion. We have the number of keyframes to be used during transitions. And we have the option to enable or disable the welcome message for avatar sitting down. Okay, now that AVSitter has finished reloading, let's sit back down. Okay, and as we can see, the behavior hasn't changed yet. So let's get to work. I'm just going to go and start programming our default position first. And this will just get used for any unprogrammed sitters. So I think this will work fairly well. So all I need to do is click default position and then click record perspective. And as you can see, our default position button is now highlighted green. So let's start programming our poses. So I am in sitter 0, which is already selected, and I am in the position friends talk. And the AutoCam HUD is already aware of this. Pose name set to friends talk. And as we can see, our current pose name button is highlighted green. So just need to position my camera somewhere nice. I think this will work. And then just click record. As we see, the save poses readout has gone to 1. So I'm just going to do the same for sitter 1. Position our camera somewhere nice. As we see, sitter 1 is already selected. And all I need to do is click record. Now, as we can see, both sitters are now highlighted blue, which means we've got camera position saved. But I'm going to I'm going to swap back to sitter 0. And actually, I've changed my mind. I now want to have the camera go to here. Now, as we can see, sitter 0 is highlighted teal now. This means that it's already programmed, but it's also selected. So all we need to do is click record, and this will just overwrite our previous position. So let's program some of the other poses. Let's go to M1. Once again, just position our camera somewhere nice and just click record. And we can see sitter 0 has gone blue. So let's move on to M2. Position our camera somewhere nice and just click record. Once again, sitter 0 has gone blue. Moving on to M3. Sitter 0 is highlighted. Click record. Sitter 0 has gone blue. So, how do we program our sync poses, our couples poses? Let's have a look. Let's go into cuddles and then let's start programming cuddle number 2. Now, because it's just me on the object at the moment, I'm actually going to take an educated guess that my avatar is looking at the other avatar. So let's position our camera somewhere nice to look at the other avatar. I think this will work. And see, sitter 0 is already highlighted. Our pose name is already set to cuddle number 2. All I need to do is click record. Okay, and now let's swap into sitter number 1. Yep, I was correct. So let's just program the other camera position for this pose. Just going to look back to where I just was. Verify sitter number 1 is selected. And just click record. Okay, and what we've done there is we programmed 2 separate camera positions for the same sync pose. But what if we want to share a camera position? Let's go to cuddle number 3. Swap back to sitter 0. Okay, and as we saw, the other avatars sat on top of my avatar. So let's position our camera somewhere nice, which works for both avatars. I'm just going to highlight both sitters, so they're both highlighted green. I'm just going to click record. And what that's done is it's now programmed a shared camera position for both sitters. Okay. And let's have a look at, cuddle number 4. Okay, so we've got the other avatar sat on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to program a shared camera position, which I'm going to do like there, and just click record. Both of our sitters are now highlighted blue. But now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to convert it into an individual camera position for each sitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to position our camera. I'm just going to highlight sitter 0. I'm just going to click record. So what that's done is now converted sitter 0 into an individual camera position. So now I'm going to position my camera into an individual position, sitter number 1, highlight sitter number 1, and click record. And that's now converted this shared camera position pose into an individual position pose. Okay, so let's say now that I've done every pose on this object. How do we get the contents of the HUD memory into the object? All we need to do is click Export Completed Config. It'll pop up with this dialog up here. Just click Go to Page. And it will pop up with this web browser here. So this is our config down here. All we need to do is click Copy to Clipboard. Now I'm just going to get up of this object. Click Edit. Open up our Edit menu. Let's find our config in the inventory. AVAutoCam.cfg. Let's open that up. What I'm going to do is paste it into here. So our config is now on this note card. Just click save. And that's caused AutoCam to reload our config, and it's found our configured poses. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click new config. And I've done that just to demonstrate how to reload a config if we want to make changes in future. So I'm going to close this window. I'm just going to sit back down. Okay, and as we can see, that's gone straight into the camera position that I chose for this sitter. And it's also prompted us to reload the config for this object into the HUD. So I'm just going to click load, and that's now reloaded the contents of this object's config into our HUD, so we can make changes in future. So let's have a look at some of the poses we programmed. M1, that's gone straight into the position that I programmed. M2, and that's gone straight into the position that I programmed. M3, once again, that's working correctly. M4. Now this position I didn't actually program. So what it's done is it's taken us back to our default position, and as I can see, that's worked just fine. So let's have a look at some of the cuddles that we programmed. Cuddle number 2. So this was the position that we had the individual camera positions for. Yep, I can see that that's position number 1. And position number 2 is working correctly. And let's go to our shared camera position pose, cuddle number 3. Yep, and that camera position is same for both sitters. Cuddle number 4. Now this was the position where we initially set it up as a shared position and then converted it into individual positions. As we can see, that's worked flawlessly. Okay, and that's an overview on how to use the Studio Saberhagen AutoCam. If you have any problems, please do get in touch. If you have any feature requests, once again, please get in touch. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you.